because I don't think we've.
Do we know what Escher and Andrew are on? That's something that's been coming up
they
in
were
the chat.
they were
Metallica.
playing. Let's see.
Well, it says Metallica right now.
Yeah, they. But I was watching them play. I think it was Sorcerer when I went in. So, so they must have finished Sorcerer.
Okay, and it looks like Louise and Ellen are on their 30-second warm-up. Each player's been allowed to do a 30-second warm-up for each game throughout the day.
Now, when you're playing, do you take the 30 seconds for every game, or do you, after you've played it, do you feel comfortable and don't want to mess up something?
I always want to take it. I always want to see if anything changed, if someone moved the game, and if it's a different, like leveled differently, or if the tilt's gotten tighter. Especially because it's a match-by-match tournament, they can make changes to the games between rounds and announce those to the players. So you definitely want to see what's up throughout the day.
And sometimes more games are played. Sometimes the flippers, for example, get a little bit weaker or whatever, and you want to know how they react. Or, for example, and also on like Metallica, we watched the super skill shot. It dead bounces into the mystery. So you want to be able to test that as well and see where that shot is.
We got an update from Escher as he was walking by. He is up 2-0.
Escher, who won Papa 19 last year, and he was 13 at the time.
There have been more Papas than years in his life.
Yes. And Papa 20 has been postponed until, or no, wait, I apologize. It's a Papa 21.
It's 21, yeah.
Yeah, so he won 20. Papa 21 has been postponed while the crew tries to sell and find a new space. I don't think there's been much update on that from the last conversation I had with them. And there is another tournament going on this weekend, both here and in Louisville. So IFPA Pin Masters will be starting tomorrow at 1 p.m. here. And the Papa crew is down in Louisville for the Louisville Arcade Expo and hosting an event down there. Both groups will be live streaming, so have 2 screens set up so you can watch both.
Okay.
And was that a tilt?
Yeah, it definitely was a tilt, but I'm assuming that was for real?
Yes, that is for real, and Ellen is waiting for the game to settle. She is, actually timing it. Not sure if she's doing 30 or 60, but the way she's walking away, I imagine it's not 30.
I personally do a minute if I'm waiting on something that's actually been tilted, 45 seconds if there were a couple of dangers.
Okay. Do you actually time it?
This game is very tight, so you want it to be definitely settled.
Yeah, you will see some players time it, like Zoe and Ellen and other players. I tend to do it on the fly. Oh, and my apologies for not changing our players. I tend to do it on the fly and just kind of guesstimate as to how long it's been. And this looks like, is it 3-1, or did we have an update earlier?
Yes, Ellen 3, Louise 1 from the scrawling on the paper.
There hasn't been an official announcement yet that
maybe
there is no Papa this year.
Yes, sir.
No, not official. They don't want to say there will definitely be something because there's nothing set in stone, but...
Well, at this point, too...
But it's not looking very well. But, I mean, if things could happen in November or December, who knows?
Once again, it does depend on the sale of the building.
Right.
So if you know anybody in Pittsburgh who is looking for a beautiful warehouse in the heart of Carnegie, send them Papa's way. Or, I'm sorry, the Replay Foundation. Send them that way.
Two tilt warnings
tilt
right
warnings.
when she hit a broadside, and that broadside shot is so important to have
Yeah,
dialed in.
no, that is a sensitive tilt.
So you got to calm your nerves and be very cautious with your flips. And it looked like she could have attempted a save there. It was close to the flippers, but with 2 tilt warnings.
It's not like it's a huge bonus game. It's not something that you're sad if you tilt out necessarily until you've built it up a bit.
I did not say we're having Papa 21 this year. I said there's a chance. There's also a chance that we won't.
I would say it's probably 99% that we won't, but you never know.
For all the latest information on that, though, watch Papa TV, which has been starting streaming Monday nights again, 7:30 Eastern.
Where are they streaming from?
We're still streaming from the warehouse.
Oh.
There hasn't been a sale yet. Like with any real estate deal, if somebody buys it, who knows how much time we'll have to move out.
They did tear down the broadcast booth. However, they are live streaming in the back room?
Yes, we have a temporary broadcast booth in the back.
And you will see some of your favorite cast of characters over the coming weeks. And Louise is letting the game settle.
Yeah, Ellen kept her bonus, but did have 2 dangers when she drained.
Yes.
It didn't seem like that much of a move that got Ellen her 2 either, so it might still be swinging from Luis's tilt.
But once again, people say it doesn't look like much of a move, but those moves do build up and get that swinging. And sometimes that you may think you haven't shaken it on that last tilt, but that's a result of those multiplying as you play the game.
That's an interesting stat that went across the bottom for Ellen. Highest rank 8th. I wonder what the highest rank ever for a woman is. I know she's been playing for a long time. I think she was the women's champion at Papa 4, maybe? Representing both the East and the West through all these years.
Yeah,
Fun to watch.
She started in New York and now is based in the Bay Area. And this matchup between Ellen and Louise is a Bay versus Bay situation. Even though Louise is, from the United Kingdom, she is based in the Bay Area.
Yeah, the chat room did say earlier that Ellen won Pinball back in, I think they said 1996?
She won the women's division.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she took a hiatus, and it's great to see her still playing at that level and back on the circuit. Right.
I was having a discussion with Dave Stewart once. If we had a Hall of Fame of Pittsburgh pinball people, who would be the first entries? And besides him, she was the next one mentioned.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She did say earlier that she went to WVU and then lived in Pittsburgh for a while when I spoke to her previously.
So Louise needs a couple more letters to light sink ship. Oh.
She got the first and the second lock there, making it a 3-ball.
The S is burnt out.
Okay.
So just be aware of that.
Not just a squid fishing ship?
Yeah.
An ink ship?
Ink ship?
Greg Dunlap is saying in the chat that the highest ever rank for a woman is 60th, Robin, in 2016. However, what we're seeing on the information about Ellen could either be, well, no, it says just highest rank 8th. So this may be in the early days of the
IFPA
Whopper
rankings, yeah.
points. But in recent memory, Robin has been killing it in the rankings the past couple of years.
Yeah, because she is currently seated first.
Yeah. I don't know if she's still below the 100 cutoff for IFPA, but she's somewhere very, very up there.
I don't think we've seen much of her today. We may have to bounce over and watch her.
Yeah, she and Hannah Hatch are playing. So that's another West Coast matchup, Robin from the Bay and Hannah from Seattle. And it looks like they were on game 1 the last time we sent a scout.
Okay, the IFPA website does give you when that was. She was ranked 8th in June of 1999, but still, she was 8th.
Yeah.
I would like a single-digit ranking.
Honestly, I'd like to get down into the triple-digit rankings.
Yeah, I'd like to get back to double digits.
There's so many people at this point. Like, the rankings have just exponentially exploded over the past 5 years. Oh, that was a nice dig. It's always a little scary because the cannon plastic is not necessarily super level with the playfield, and it can get hung up right over the drain if you don't anticipate it accurately.
But still, that is a very nice score, 30 million.
Oh, heck yeah.
So looking at the bracket here, these two are looking for a spot into the Final Four, and they will get the winner of the Rob and Hannah match.
And on the other side of that bracket is Tracy and Karen, who you can see Karen in the foreground, even though we're not watching her game. And then Helena and Carrie.
Yeah, we have the electronic challenge in front of us. However, on the wall are 2 beautiful posters that are being manually updated by Josh Sharp. One of them is labeled the IFPA United States National Pinball Championship. However, as I've said throughout the day, we do have the provinces in there as well. So I think Josh needs to change the name of that. All right, we are on ball 3. It looks like Ellen had a fairly quick ball. We are broadcasting from Flipperspiel Underground Arcade Club in Las Vegas, and it literally is, I won't say, or well, I can't say literally. It is underground in that there is no sign outside the building. The only reason we found it today is because there were some very great pinball players hanging out outside of it.
You drive past it. It's in an office park.
I recognized Chris Chin and said, that's where it is.
Yeah, it is next to a 24-hour bar, I believe somebody said. So
no matter how late it goes, the spectators can find somewhere to celebrate.
All right, she has an opportunity here to load the cannon to sink the ship.
Just needs to keep it away from those outlanes.
Yeah, and I have a feeling we are going to have a late one because the women are still playing, and nationals, I don't even think we've gotten down to the top 8 being completely
Yeah, it
played.
looks like we have 5 spots in the top 8 done. Ray and Brian are still playing. Andrew Lee and Escher are still playing, and Preston and Carl, well, they must just be starting. Since we just saw Preston finish his last round.
At this point, I'm happy for Carl because he's actually playing and not on the broadcast with us. He deserves it.
Doesn't always need to multitask.
No, absolutely not. He has been doing some today, though, adjusting camera levels. We do want to give a shout out to the IFPA team and to Carl for all the hard work that they have done in getting this place ready for nationals in women's and also on the broadcast setups.
Ellen is keeping it alive. She's got broadside lit, and she just lit her lock with a really great outlane save on the left inlane outlane. But now she's got 2 dangers and needs to be super careful. She can lock a ball and start 2-ball multi-ball over on that left
Looks that
cove.
way.
But she does want to give the tilt bob some time before putting her hands on it with a multi-ball.
Which was rough because she was in the middle of broadside, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a countdown mode. So
Oh, yeah. Being very gentle, making some really smart decisions on when to nudge and when to leave it alone.
That's
But
going.
you can't quite catch it.
If you want to stay tuned or keep up with the brackets, you can either go to the IFPA website and they will be on the front page, or you can go to challenge.com, and the women are at 2018 IFPA Women's, and the nationals are at 2018 IFPA Nationals. And that was a nice job by Louise. All right, so
Do we want to go to Barekora with Escher and Andrew, or
Torpedo.
Torpedo Alley with Robin and Hannah?
Torpedo, we haven't seen much of Robin today, so since we've been talking about it, let's bounce over there. Plus, we can talk a little bit more about how to play Torpedo Alley. Wow, that's a nice score for ball one. Sheesh. So, Pete, how do we play Torpedo Alley?
You lock balls and score points. I honestly don't remember. I know we had one at the clubhouse, and there's 3 different lock shots that you try to hit to get the multi-ball. There was one right there. But past that, I don't remember much.
You want to shoot the orbit shot
Yeah, the left
back
orbit.
up. Oh, wow, but tilt. Totally.
Oh.
No,
And
that's
it
when-
released her other ball.
Yeah, tilts release the lock, so
One of my favorite little trivia or tidbit items on this is you can see in the out lanes the sharks that are flashing, and when the ball rolls over them, you hear da 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 da.
Oh,
you
it's
know.
cute. I've never listened for that before.
So that is a little tidbit. Check that out if you get to play a Torpedo Alley.
So Hannah's got some catching up to do here. Just continually hitting it over, trying to keep it up top.
And there is a kickback on this.
it's
You're thinking of Time Machine being disabled.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You
Yeah,
are
no,
right.
the kickback is not disabled on this. You see the orange flashing triangle by the,
Yeah.
yeah, that is your kickback shot.
Rather than always have one of the ramps on Time Machine lit for a kickback whenever it's unlit, they decided to just do away with it entirely, it sounded like.
Probably
but
a wise
this-
move.
Yeah, but this game is harder to relight, and so gets to keep it. It looks like it's that target right in front of the pop bumpers that's flashing orange. That's where you relight the
We do
kickback.
have the telestrator if you
Oh.
want to
I don't know how to do that.
just put your finger on the screen.
Like
and-
right here? 'Cause
Yeah, so
I'm
just draw your
talking
circle
about
right
this little
around it.
guy.
Yeah,
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but then how do I clear it?
Yeah, then how do I make it go away?
See the keyboard? You hit that.
Yeah,
All right.
So,
Looks like
wow, that was ball
three. Yeah, Robin took that. It looks like Hannah broke a million. So she definitely put up a fight, but Robin
so
had
you're
the
saying we
advantage.
can
Oh, I didn't realize you could do that.
Yeah, that's Robin.
we
Okay.
kids
Yeah.
with their toys.
You want to move over to Barekora now that
Yeah.
Torpedo Alley finished?
Let's go over to
'Cause we
Barekora.
definitely want to see some Escher Lefkoff World Championship.
All right. Well, hopefully they are still playing.
Yes. Oh, that's ball 2, it looks like.
Now, what we have Escher and Andrew. Okay, so find my mouse here.
It looks like Andrew is player 1.
Oh, she's running the stop sign.
There we go.
All right, we have Escher stepping up. I'm not 100% sure what we said, ball 2
Yes,
possibly.
it's ball 2, player 2, so we
Yes.
actually have the guys backwards here, it looks like. Oh, this is so easy to
Oh,
use.
do I have it backwards?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's such a great setup.
Yeah,
I
it
had
is.
no
It's
idea.
phenomenal.
Sure, left puck. All right. Should
The
be.
two ball started. Double scoring.
What we had on.
And during multi-ball, you want to be going for those Barekora drop targets.
And Andrew has to win this in order to continue playing because it is currently 3-2-0.
Well, he definitely put something together on Barekora so far. Escher is trailing him with 212, but he's got one of his balls trapped up and is doing a single ball, picking off drops.
Yeah, it was interesting there. He had it trapped on the left and got one trapped on the right and switched one he was using
I think
to
he
fit his needs.
Yeah, because he had BAR. He only had one target left on that bank, so he wanted to
Very intelligent.
drop it. Yeah, what's interesting is you have to spell bear and Akora in order. You have to knock the first one down before you can make any progress towards it, but it's not the entire word. It's the two halves of the word. So the BAR and the Akora act separately.
Man, they didn't even divide that evenly.
Yeah, it was a 3 and a
Sheesh.
5. So Akora is more shots, but in my experience, a little bit easier to get all of them down. It's less of a dangerous thing to pick off, which is what Escher is trying to do here, is just make that progress towards. Great patience there.
Speaking of Escher, you may notice the pictures aren't necessarily up to date. Unfortunately, there was a camera malfunction, and they were not able to do pictures today, so they defaulted to the IFPA pictures, and as you can see, Escher looks...
I'm pretty sure that's how he looks.
From what he said earlier, that was when he was around 9 years old, so...
So like last year?
Yeah, last year.
Oh, a little bit of a fumble there, but he still has one ball trapped, and Barekora basically lit or spelled, so that upper spinner shot is worth quite a bit if he wants to take it up to the pops now.
That's
Almost. There he is.
one of the times where you can get yourself into trouble. You have a ball trapped, and if you try to do something to save the other one, you jailbreak yourself or lose all the control you have. He was smart to let that second one go and then just get back to work.
Yeah.
He has the two-ball multi-ball lit again. He's playing this game brilliantly.
All right, and my dumb question of the day, is this a lock-stealing game?
It is not.
Okay.
That's actually what's very interesting about Barekora is if you have the ball locked in the back lock and you drain out of one ball play, it'll kick that back lock out as kind of a ball save. And so on this particular one, they've taken the gate out so that it doesn't hang up and give you a chance to have a nice feed. It's kind of screaming down the side at you, so it's not as much a ball save as a ball reaction time. So Escher came back considerably, has 633 now, and Andy Lee is going into ball 3, representing Cleveland, Ohio.
Hey, he's got the two-ball lock lit, and he's got the bonus collect at the top lit.
No bonus to speak of. So
Yeah,
it's
no,
less
not much
of
use
a
for that,
plunge.
but
All right. He's
gets
locked
the
in.
easy bounce in.
One thing to keep in mind, as she said, it acts as a ball save. Never walk away from a machine until you see your bonus actually counting down.
Andy Lee, that was
That
really
was a
cool.
beautiful
Someone
nudge.
might want to clip that and send it to him. But now he's doing the same strategy as Escher, picking off those targets, but with a little less lucky bounces.
Back to, oh.
Made it interesting, but looks like Escher is moving on to, it's going to be a Wunderkind
Yeah,
ballot
there's the-
battle.
Yeah.
Escher versus Colin Urban. There are two Collins in the quarterfinals. The former or the current reigning Pinburg champion, Colin McAlpine, but also the current reigning Free Gold Watch. What is that tournament called? That great tournament at Free Gold Watch. Anyway, Colin won that one.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who was trying to struggle with the name
What
of
is
that
the
thing.
name of it?
Free Gold Watch is...
Gridiron? It's not.
Aren't they the ones that did the Papa or the Pinburg shirts?
City Champs.
City
Thank you,
Champ,
Jean.
there you go.
Oh my God, that was embarrassing. I've never actually been to Free Gold Watch. I lived in the Bay Area, and I moved right when they got their first 4 pinball machines, and they were still a T-shirt company for the most part, and I never felt comfortable enough getting in.
Oh.
Yeah, we got a score being wrote down. It's
Hannah's walking off with 59,300. This is the Hannah Priyanka game, I
no,
believe.
I believe it's Hannah. No, it's still Hannah and Robin.
Oh,
yeah, so
right.
Robin will be stepping up
Yeah,
here.
so Robin is stepping up. She has to beat, what,
59-3.
Now, did she do her 30 seconds of warm-up before they started, or is she wearing...
Oh, wow. Sorry, I didn't realize you were also using the mouse.
Yes, I am using the mouse. People want to know who's playing.
Yes.
All right.
They also want to know what Robin's score to beat is, or Hannah's score to beat.
Yeah, the score to beat is 59, like 310, I think. Okay, now you
Escape,
can...
Yeah.
Now
Let's
you
get
can-
away my doodles. How do we?
Oh,
Doodle
I gotta-
away.
Wait. Yeah, I gotta bring the mouse back up. Okay.
All right. Oh, 600 did you say?
300.
300? Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
close
600 will win.
enough. Yeah.
It's harder than it looks, folks.
But it is a lot of fun. You have
Oh,
to...
Well,
Tilt
that
ends
will
Tilt-ended
solve.
game.
Guess
Yeah, and
we
all
don't need
these
that anymore.
EMs tilt ends game.
Okay, that was
Oh,
still
it's
that
a
was for practice.
Ooh,
So,
Thank you for the update.
So-
Once again, we are not
so
in
we
the
can
room.
put
so
it
we
back
weren't-
again.
We were not. So we are not 100% sure of everything going on.
And especially on the one-player EMs, rather than having both players do their 30 seconds of practice before we start the game, they're letting each person do their practice immediately before their single-player game that they're doing. So Hannah had her 30 seconds and then put up her 59,300 smiley face, and now Robin was testing out the tilt and is about to start her official game as the second player.
All right, we are watching Robin on Abracadabra. Did either of you play? Oh, well, no, I know Pete did. Did you play this today, Zoe?
I did play it. Tracy and I had a good game. We both were in the, I think I had 50-something, she had 60-something. I'd never actually played it before, but it's got a really interesting rule set.
Is that a
Robin.
bounce out?
Yeah,
Pretty-
Robin got a nice little Lazarus over there.
Good job staying with it. You know, the one thing on this game that's may not be readily visible to someone who isn't familiar with it, there's always one drop target lit. You can tell by, I guess, those balloons or markers on the plastic. So they're, the two top ones right now are worth the bonus value, and the other one's worth 500.
And they're switching as switch hits occur.
You
The
have to-
lit one.
You have to knock them all down to reset them, so you could have your big point pop up or drop target be down, and so a lot of this can come down to timing it and hitting the lit one when it's still up.
Yeah, and it's not just that you have to get all the drop targets down, you have to have all of them down and then hit that center shot, that really difficult bullseye target. So even if Robin gets the last four drops she needs down, then she'll have to make that dangerous up the middle shot to start resetting them, yeah. Trying to keep track of which one is the lucrative one. Nice shimmy out of the outland.
Yeah, she had it lit there, and
Yeah, looks like she picked it off. But now, oh, yeah, she's got the lowest drop target on the left and the middle on the right still to contend with.
Josh and Adam Adam Becker were discussing how to play this game, and Adam said all he does is shoots 1,000 pop bumper over and over again when it's lit, and that's like such a risky strategy, but I could see it working.
Yeah, if it gets caught in there, and you get quite a few points.
I mean, it's far
Well,
enough
that's a
up
nice
that it's not going to normally fire it right down the middle or out of control.
She's getting some nice bounces on that.
Yeah. And that was a very nice and controlled drop catch.
Yes.
She just needs that one target to get down so that she can reset it, but she does want to make sure that it's lucrative. Right, so it's lit right now.
Ooh.
Oh.
This is the situation I found myself in earlier. One drop target, and for the life of me, I couldn't hit it.
I had a weird malfunction where I dropped all the drops, hit to reset, but only one came up.
Wow.
So then I was like, I mean, I called Zach over. He couldn't figure out what exactly went wrong, so I knocked that one down, reset it again, and they all came up. So it didn't super affect me except for having to shoot that dangerous shot over and over again. So now Robin has them all down, and she can shoot that dangerous shot. There she
That
goes.
was sweet.
And a
Oh,
nice little nudge,
nudge.
too. So she's got each of those lit bonus targets up to 3,000. You can get them all the way up to 5, depending on how many times you get 1, 2, 3, 4 completed. Nice. She is doing really well with that right outlay and making a lot of great saves.
Those aren't slings by the 2 and 3.
They just
These
have
dead
little
plastic,
rubbers
yeah.
around them. Oh, trying a shots for that number 1, which would get her target value up. But then trying to take the shot.
Now, you can tap pass on this if you're willing to try it.
I'm terrified just thinking about that.
All right, talk about what a tap pass is.
Oh yeah, Pete, would you like to?
You have a ball. Well, even doesn't it doesn't have to be stopped. That's going to win it.
Hey yo, look at that.
Nice job.
So I'm glad that she cleared all of 59,000 just in case we were slightly incorrect on the digits.
All right.
And, anyway, finish up the tap passes. You barely hit the flipper. It hits it with just a little bit of oomph, so it doesn't do a full flip, and then the ball will go from one flipper to another.
All right, where do you
Like
want?
that a little bit.
Where would you guys like to go next?
We've got
let's go to
Escher and Colin on Game of Thrones, or Louise and Ellen on Iron Man.
Let's go to Iron Man.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see what do we got going on here. While they're waiting to start, I'll go see if I can get some more results and see what's going on.
And while they're waiting to start, you are watching the 2017-2018 IFPA North American National Championships and also the IFPA Women's Championships. We are at Flipperspiel Underground in Las Vegas, and I am Virginia Hendricks, and I'm here with Zoe Brable and Pete Hendricks, who is currently running to see where the other matches are. Tomorrow starts Pin Masters, a Stern Pro Circuit event, and that is going to take me a while to learn. And also Louisville Arcade Expo will be starting tomorrow, so make sure you check out both those great events. They will both be streaming at some point throughout the weekend. And if you're going to Louisville, good luck, have fun. And if you're playing in Pin Masters tomorrow, good luck, have fun. Are you playing tomorrow?
I am not. I'm heading back early. The level of competition is just so high that, like, expense-wise, it wasn't going to make financial sense to stay out here longer than I had to.
So what you're saying is that I probably should have just elected to stay at the hotel tomorrow
I
night.
don't want to make it sound like it's undoable. I just know that where I am, skill-wise, I'm not quite at that top of A level that you need to be to do really well. And this is what, a Stern Circuit event this year?
Yes, it is. It's also it's a pin golf event, in case you're not familiar with it.
Doesn't look like they're getting started on Iron Man anytime soon, since Louise expressed
He's coming back. He's doing
some surprise that she was expected to be on the stream in the first place. So we could switch to an active game while we wait, maybe hop over to Game of Thrones until the women are set up and have some meaningful pinball to watch.
Okay. All right, so we are switching over to Game of Thrones, where we can watch some Escher and Colin.
Which of them is younger? I think Colin's slightly older than Escher, but
Escher's, I believe, either 14 or almost 14.
yeah, and Colin is almost 16. So we see Escher's got his headphones in. He's got Lannister running. Let's see if we can get our bearings, what ball it is or anything. I see some triple-digit scores, even though we're not in full focus. So he's got 110 million and then a very quick right outlane drain.
Now, I'm not sure if one of the players stepped out, but it's Ellen 3, Luis 2, and Iron Man is their next game, but they don't seem to be in there, so they might be taking a break for a moment. Other results, Colin is up 1-0 on Adam. That's Colin McAlpine. Carl is up 1-0 on Preston. Robin is up 2-1 on Hannah, and Carrie is up 3-0 on
Tracy?
Helena.
No, Helena. Wow.
Oh, wow. And that's a repeat of last year's women's finals. Carrie Wing from Kansas and Helena from Sweden, but based in Colorado. And Helena pulled it out last year, but it looks like Carrie wants some revenge. Colin also seems to want some revenge on this game. He started his multi-ball. Looks like he is taking Greyjoy and Lannister in. So Stark is already completed because everyone's playing in novice mode. And they're trying to stack two multi-balls in, or I'm sorry, stack two modes in with a multi-ball. He's still got some ball save flashing, so he can focus on making those tough shots on the right side of the play field.
Brian asking what mods were done to Game of Thrones. It is on casual mode, so you always start with Stark, and you're not allowed to change it. You can't pass. There was also a rubber in the right lane so that the ball always goes towards the left slings and flippers.
Oh, was that ball 3? Yikes.
Yeah,
Escher wins 158-52. Colin started a multi-ball and then promptly drained out of it once ball save was gone. Unfortunately, had a similar rocket down the right out lane to Escher.
All right, let's see if Raymond and Tim are still on Aerosmith, just to kind of get a feel of the different games. And I know some of you have been tuned in all day and going, oh God, Aerosmith again, but we probably do have new people. Oh.
Welcome to Australia.
So.
We are very nice here. We're going to make many apps for you on our bodies.
Adam Becker hard at work repairing a game while playing.
Americans don't know.
Not at the same time, of course, but
I never
No,
know.
he's flipping and soldering simultaneously. That was a very
high-level skill there.
Yeah, Raymond is currently up on Aerosmith. Aerosmith, the toy box has been disabled, and I still don't quite understand what that means. So do you guys want to explain?
Sure. With the toy box, normally when you lock a ball and the toy box is not disabled, it will throw it into the toy box and lock it away until all 6 are in there. In a multiplayer game, obviously one person gets the freebie of the ball going into the toy box safely and getting a free plunge. Well, it's not a free plunge. It will auto launch if you don't do it quick enough, but a more chance of control. Whereas if the other player, if the multi-ball hasn't been started, they're stuck with what every player in this game is getting: the throw into the toy on top of the box and the unfamiliar feed. This makes it a little more fair that both players will have the same thing to deal with. That lock throw is not a gimme.
No, it is not. And Raymond looks like he started with Walk This Way.
It seems to be the popular choice.
Yeah, that's what I would do as well. The one thing to keep in mind with Walk This Way is if you hit the crank it up shot, he's got a all save VIP pass.
VIP pass.
Oh, and he got a nice feed from the pop bumpers to light half of the elevator locks. You have to hit each of the He's doing so much good stuff. You have to hit each orb to light the elevator lock at the elevator, which is to the right of the toy box. You have to hit each orb once. If you complete a set of the 2 orbital shots, the lock at the elevator stays lit, but if you only get one half of them done and then drain, you have to start from scratch to light that lock on your next ball. If you hit crank it up when you have walk this way going, then there are more shots needed to finish, and if you don't complete super ramps, it goes away at the end of your ball, I believe, rather than hanging over from ball to ball. I am not as intimately familiar with the Aerosmith rule sets as I should probably be. He chooses to abort his multi-ball. You have multi-ball available when you lock 3 balls, but you can choose, as he is doing, to light more locks, lock more balls, get more points. He is passing again and wants to lock probably all 6 if he can. This is only ball 2.
Yeah, because I believe there's not much difference between 3 and 4, but once you get up to 6, that's where your jackpots and all that double, I believe somebody said earlier.
That was a ruthless drain from the magnet of the toy box just straight down the middle before he could get his hands on it. So I wonder if he's going to try and take a 5-ball multi-ball in ball 3, or if he's going to keep on trying to make progress towards all 6.
This is such a fun game in head-to-head for that reason. If you're the first person reaching multi-ball, how early do you take it? Or if you're behind, how much do you go for it early and try to grind? Or basically your decisions are based off of how much pressure you want to put on the other person or what your situation is.
And in this situation where the game is so close, Ray drained ball 2 with 35, Tim's at 34, and he knows that Raymond has 5-ball multi-ball lit. Does he want to start his lock when he locks this 3rd ball to just get some points on the table and put some distance between him and Raymond? Looks like that is what he is going to do, is just start his 3-ball multi-ball, not even worry about it, and extra ball is lit, which is 15 million points, so it would be a nice pickup at the crank it up scoop if he can grab it.
My apologies, I have it reversed. Raymond is actually up right now. So Tim, I believe, was first.
Well, and Raymond is doing all of this stuff right now.
Yes. Curiosity question as we watch this. What do you guys think of the new displays on the back?
Oh, like the LCD screens rather than a DMD?
Yes.
I find that the fonts are typically hard to read. I think there are a lot of accessibility issues. I guess if you're playing pinball, you probably aren't vision impaired enough that a lot of accessibility issues would apply to you, but font-wise, just like, look how tiny it is. I can barely tell the digits apart, like a 3 and an 8.
It's certainly going to draw in a different crowd, though, having the video displays. Might draw in more players because of that element that normally wouldn't play a DMD or.
Yeah, they don't really know what they're getting into on a DMD.
But
Ray's
like
up to 90 now. Looks like he got that extra ball. Didn't quite get to lock a ball in the toy chest for 2x scoring, though. Now he's back to single ball play.
This is the one we were talking that extra ball is especially lucrative.
15 million points. You sound a little faint. You might want to.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Unsmith. And Pete, you're loud.
that's nothing new.
Yeah, I was going to say you probably heard that before.
He can adjust and pull his mic away.
Yeah, if I'm too loud, let me know, but
we're trying.
hopefully you can hear me good.
All right, Raymond is lighting locks again, but mostly going for walk this way, super ramps.
All right, so modes. You said most people are starting with walk this way. All right, what does it?
So each of the songs are connected to, it's kind of like World Cup soccer where there are super things, super spinner, super ramps, super modes, whatever. And so Walk This Way is connected to super ramps. If you complete enough Walk This Way shots, super ramps goes into effect, and you have X number of ramps that give you super ramps points. So similarly with Rats in the Cellar, that's one where you get super spinner after completing a certain number of shots. So it's nice to also have a super spinner and super ramps going when you have a lot of balls in play and you know you're going to be hitting those shots for nice points, especially because there's so many combo multipliers here. If you shoot something on the fly, you're likely to get more points than if you trap up and Ray kind of knocks it out into the left out lane, but a great ball three there, put quite a bit of distance.
Even if you're really accurate, when I was playing Dan earlier, he chose to start with that and finish the mode and had the super ramps. He hit the center ramp 10 times, and just like that, he was around 30 million even before I had a ball in play. Now it'll be interesting to see, will Tim go for 6 or take it at 5?
What would you
With
do?
step 1, I'd go at 5.
Me too. I would try and backhand it because it's so hard to make that lock shot. Just, okay, Tim, I see you.
I wonder if he was going for the bounce there in, or
Or was he going for the ramp?
He might just be trying to ramp out and walk this way because he's got both those arrows pulsing, which means that the super
yeah, he's
ramps
trying
are
to
going.
pass.
Yeah. Got a little fancy there.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what he was attempting there. That'll give Ray the win.
All right. So what do you guys want to watch next?
Looks like we've got people on Iron Man, Black Rose.
Why don't we go to Iron Man?
Yeah,
Since
that's
we
what
were
we
going to
meant
bounce
to.
there earlier, and
Adam, Carl, and Preston. Last we checked, it was Carl 1-0.
and we are happy that Carl is actually getting a chance to play today and not be stuck commentating because he's not playing. So, all right.
Like Louise is up currently. It's ball 1, player 1 right now.
Okay.
Okay, this should be their game 6 with Ellen up 3-2.
Louise is having some nice shimmies in the in lane, out lane. There are some rubbers on the posts on either side of the in lane, out lane divide, and you can kind of shake it back into play when it looks like it's going out. That one was just a power out lane, but she had ball save. Or
starting the multi-ball, yep.
Okay.
She had Monger going, or
I guess. I didn't even notice it was up, but we have a weird angle.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
there
there
it
he
goes. There
comes.
it goes.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure.
And she drains out of it. And
Ellen steps up.
That's how I felt against Adam. It was just like, dude, it's a combination of him playing well and me.
this is another game where you have what approach do you take? Will you go for bogey if you're a great ramp shooter, or will you go for the Monger and the multi-balls?
See, I usually go for Monger and the multi-balls, but I was told one time a good strategy is the bogeys. So, but Monger's just the one I always automatically hit first. So.
Zoe stepped out for a moment, and joining the broadcast here will be Ben Granger, Minnesota State champion. And then when Zoe gets back, I'll give the seat back to her. But
Is this thing on? Is this thing on?
Yes, we can hear you, Ben.
All right.
Okay, so how did your day go? You're on the broadcast, so I can't imagine it did well, or it didn't go well.
Well, it went from really great first round 4-0
Ooh, nice.
to second round 0-4.
Oof.
we call that day 500.
Yep.
Did you have you had to buy the very first round?
Correct.
So, okay. Then you ran into Adam Becker.
Yep.
Here, he's pretty good.
Yeah, just a bit.
He is a beast. He's playing very well, I think, tonight. I'd be surprised if he doesn't end up doing even better.
Great.
He's playing Colin, who is currently the the Pinburg champion. So
Louise has. Oh, she must have got it while I was looking away there for a second. She had Warmonger lit. She's in a multi-ball, so.
yeah, it looks like Monger's up. So
Oh, Monger. Okay.
yeah.
Yep. Started Monger.
Okay, what
That's really
she
good.
did there is she brought the Monger up. She started War Machine and used War Machine to bring in Monger. So she has them stacked.
It's actually a strategy I like. It's a lot safer to go for Monger when you have a ball save and a few more balls in the play field.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, it's a tight shot, but if you can stack the two together, it's a wonderful thing.
But you have to start War Machine first, correct? 'Cause
Well,
once
you have to have
You have to have Monger
you have to
up.
have Monger up and then shoot it around the left side of him into Warmonger to start it.
Well, but my point is that once you start Monger, you can't start any other multi-ball, right?
That is correct.
Correct.
Yes.
And you could go the other way with Warmonger and Whiplash, but that's the only way you can stack with Monger.
Okay, you are watching the IFPA National Championships and the Women's Championships here in Flipperspiel Underground in Las Vegas, Nevada. I am Virginia Hendricks, and with me is Ben Granger and Pete Hendricks.
Hello, hello.
Thanks, everyone, for watching. Now, Louise drained out there. She was making great progress to do or die, but still, she'll take that ball.
Yeah, that's really solid. It's been difficult. This Ironman, I've seen a lot of 2 million, 3 million point games. To get any multi-ball is an accomplishment.
Pete, step over here. Yeah, I admit, last couple of times I've played Ironman at Papa, it has not gone well for me. I used to be able to put up 10 easily, but not so much anymore. All right, I am going to step out for a few minutes because I have been here for 8 hours, 7 hours, a really long
Putting in
time.
work.
Yeah, well, you know, like I said earlier, I can't go to a pinball tournament and relax, even though I wasn't playing today. So we have Zoe back, Ben, and you're going to have Pete.
Yeah, and it looks like we're on ball 2 of Ironman right now. Alan's still trying to make up quite a bit of ground and does not get anything much out of that ball. Louise is sitting at 16.
I don't want to hit that now.
And there is no post in the back of this Ironman. As you see, the ball just travels all the way around.
And there was like a convergence at one point. It's like there was like 2 lines. It's like, well, now you
Louise has some progress towards bogey, but it doesn't matter.
An Ironman outlane, that's pretty typical for Ironman, is for it to go out the outlane. But she has a really solid lead with 16 million. That's really tough on this Ironman.
Yeah, and Ellen still hasn't brought Monger up, it looks like. Oh, and won't have a chance to, unfortunately.
So this will take them to a Game 7 coming up.
Yeah. Seems like
Very
every game is
exciting match.
important now. Carrie Wing just knocked out Helena Walter Higgins on Black Rose. I know that feeling all too well. And so Kerry is the first of our
Okay.
4 to move on, I believe. I hope I'm.
Bear with me here. Let me see if I can do
Oh,
this.
and Karen moved on over Tracy as well. So Karen and Kerry in a K-off.
And we have Game
Colin
of Thrones
versus Adam.
Yeah.
So
Adam Becker, Colin McAlpine.
Adam is player 1, it looks like, and Colin is player 2 if someone with access to the mouse wants to
Oh,
change
yeah.
those.
Who is one, Adam?
Yes. Looks like they're both going into ball 2 with not much in the way of scores, although player 1 definitely has a lock lit, so that is helpful. On this game, you just want to get to a multi-ball.
Okay, and Luis and Ellen, they will be playing their Game 7 on Game of Thrones coming up.
Ooh.
After this game, Robin and Hannah are scheduled to play.
That's the only one with any sort of a queue. Everyone else has their choice of machines, but Game of Thrones is proving to be a popular one.
Even with the Stark being locked in.
Yep. Oh, that was a rough hit off the post rather than the spinner shot I'm sure he wanted.
And this is an example of where Game of Thrones can just be cruel. 2 balls, 9 million. But no ball save, that's very easy.
And on the player cam, you can also see Karen Kaiser and Carrie Wing getting started on X-Men as their first game. But Colin has just as speedy a drain as Adam did out of the left.
You were asking about Ellen's ranking, Blue Factory. Yeah, she was highest at 8. That was in 1999, but still, 8th is really good. I'd like to say I was 8th best in the world at something and have a stat to prove it.
Oh, that was a fast kick out of the Dragon, but a successful
Stayed with it very well.
center ramp. Now he can stack Lannister and Greyjoy. And it was ball 3, so he's got it stacked with multi-ball, which is a good strategy. No matter whether you're playing in novice mode or expert mode, I always would start my multi-ball with Greyjoy and Lannister stack.
Yeah, with the Stark not being able to select something other than Stark, I think that's less of a factor than not being able to pass on a mode select. I know if you happen to start or light a mode that you don't want to play, it's when you shoot that mode start, if that's all you have, you're going to start it automatically. So that's a pretty big something you really have to factor in on your strategy here.
Try not to hit the center ramp until you've already lit another mode. He loses his multi-ball down the middle with Super Jackpot's lit. Still has 2x playfield multiplier going, which you get from hitting the battering ram. But it's a timed shot.
And there's his Tyrell lit.
So now if he goes back up the center, he'll only start Tyrell because he doesn't have the ability to pass. But Tyrell's a good mode to have. It's easy and lucrative.
Anytime you can get that 4th one started. Oh, lucky. Light it and drain.
Light it and use it. And at this point, Adams put up a pretty commanding lead of 377 million, which on this Game of Thrones is strong. And now he starts Tyrell. If he completes this mode, he'll have Hand of the King lit, which will be an opportunity to further distance himself from Colin.
Only his
And now
first lock, so.
He's 1 target away from his 3rd lock as well, too, so he may opt to. I believe that's it. That'll start his multi, so he's going to actually have to start that multi-ball. And there it is.
Ball 2.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
2.
yeah, it is
That's
2.
2.
And it's
My
it's
bad.
also nice that the Tyrell shot's nice dig from the out lane. The Tyrell stand-up targets are the light
Oh.
locks, as well
Oh.
as part of the Tyrell mode, so you can get points for them and make progress towards your multi-ball.
So for ball 3, he'll be a start ramp away. Well, no, he'll have to restart it, and then it'll be a
But
start
this
ramp
is
away.
ball 3.
Yeah, this
So
is
he
Oh,
just
yeah, it is. Okay.
he finished up, unfortunately, without being able to start Hand of the King, but Colin still has
A lot of work to do.
pretty much everything left to do. He's had 2 very nasty drains, and there's no ball save on anything except Black Rose.
You are watching the 2017-18 IFPA U.S. National and Women's Championships. I'm Pete Hendricks, and I do have Ben Granger and Zoe Brable in the booth right now.
Hello, hello.
Hi. Right,
We
so
have the whole country represented on the broadcast team at this point.
yeah, and we're seeing good representation in this match. Adam hails from Ontario, so he won his provincial championship, whereas Colin is representing the state of Texas. Colin had his second lock lit, and so now he's starting Greyjoy by itself, and I would assume trying to get that third lock lit and just go for multi-ball just to get something happening. Yeah, so now I'll start multi-ball, and all the shots are lit for Greyjoy and for Jackpot.
$400 million is pretty doable during a multi-ball if you get some multipliers going. Especially those supers multiplied can get up 30, 40, 50, 60 million.
Yeah, he's being
So-
very careful about not losing control of everything. He doesn't want to double drain to just completely end it, because like you said, it's super doable. But looks like he's timed out Greyjoy at this point, so he's only got the Jackpots lit. One left until now Super Jackpot, which he immediately collects.
That was impressive.
Yeah, then unfortunately promptly drains.
Okay, now does he? I guess he looks to light a second mode to bring it back in with, or bring in with Greyjoy, so they can be double dipping.
Yeah, and the 2 Greyjoy shots he has left, because it holds over which shots you've already completed. He still has the right ramp and the right loop, so maybe he wants to think about.
Okay, so he knew it. He knew that the ramp shot was going to light Lannister anyway. He does have his 2.
Oh, Jean points out that Colin, as the current defending Pinburg champion, and Adam as a previous Pinburg champion, we've got a battle of champions right now on this game, and they're showing us why that is. Colin definitely is just being very on point. Oh, even with that save, manages to get it back, get some more points towards that Lannister mode. He's up to 120 now, still got a ways to go, and has few, if any, dangers left. Oh, that was a lucky little bounce there. Oh,
Wow.
my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. Tried
His
too
luck
hard
had
to
to
get
end
control.
sometime.
And
I kept on forgetting to use my Iron Bank because I always play as Martel. I'm used to only thinking about it for add a ball, and when you're stuck in novice mode, you should be trying to get the 1.5 million extra points that you can get from it if you drain and still have it lit. So Escher is up 1-0 against Colin Urban in the youth battle. Here we have them playing Black Rose.
okay, and we'll try to keep an eye on the Game of Thrones. When Robin and Hannah finish, we'll go back to it so that we can watch the Game 7 between Luis and Ellen.
Very close on ball 2.
Okay, so Escher's player 2.
Yeah.
They call him.
Colin finished with 21 million after 2 balls. Escher has the 20 million ship lit. He does not hit the center shot. And he's at 19 million, so this would make a big difference.
Black Rose. Yeah.
The original action button.
Volleyball and sink ship letters.
Is this one where you can also press the flippers? Also so much work for 500,000 points.
Yeah.
Shout out to Evan Bingham, the pinball narcissist. I think it was his birthday yesterday. Is that right, Evan? Happy birthday.
Oh, Usher's got 20 mil lit again. It does not go in, and it
Oh.
looked clean, and it went straight down the middle. I know that feeling, buddy.
Yeah, very frustrated.
Yeah. He thought it should have been in there, and I drained exactly the same way. It was a straight-on shot to that cannon, so it's not a sure shot by any means. But they're pretty much tied right now. Let's see if Colin can.
Okay, Colin has sink ship
There.
spelled out too, so
Load it, and it's underneath this ramp. That's that yellow side ramp.
Spot letter.
The ramp will lift up. So you gotta hit the left. You gotta hit the ramp to the left.
So he wants to start
There we
his
go.
multi-ball.
The side ramp.
Lock is lit.
Oh, this is what's scary.
Oof.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness!
nice.
Oh my goodness!
Don't do it.
Wow,
Two tilt
beautiful.
warnings. Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Just trying to get it together. It's hard to trap on
There it
this
is.
game.
He's got it.
well done. We saw how easy it was to tilt on this game earlier. To survive with two, wonderful job.
Well, let's hope that his hands don't get too heavy during this two-ball multi-ball that he is waiting to start. I think he's going to full plunge. Try and get it into the treasure.
Taking his time. I feel like the tilts are pretty fair across the board. There's nothing that's too touchy.
Yeah, I would say that Black Rose is probably the most active tilt of the bunch, and I appreciate it. I think that it makes you play better.
Right. Oh,
It's
unfortunate.
rough stuff. He pulls ahead of Escher, but it's hard to see if that'll stick.
Well, let's see, 26-3. Escher needs 2 million plus. Yes. Well, sink ship is probably not the approach you want to take when you only need 2 million. Earlier we saw Trent try to ramp out to run down a distance like this.
Escher's going to get his jam into Ensign. This is, you don't like to be in a spot where you're 2 million down on ball 3.
He's got the easy 500,000 for the skills drop, but then what?
Right. It's almost better to be 30 million down. You know, you just have to go to work and get something done.
So he gets that 500,000, and
Oh
there
my
is a
gosh.
little bit of a ball save on this game, so he should get it back. And he lit his lock, so a bunch of stuff is going well. And then he can just plunge into there and light the cannon for the 20 million shot, which
And there it
finally
is.
goes in, and he puts the hurt on Colin, goes up 2 wins to none.
It's quite the victory shot there.
Decisive. That's an I win, you lose.
You sank his battleship. Okay, well, we have people asking about the Ray and Tim match. Looks like they're on Barekora, so let's see if I can get to it. There we go.
So Raymond is player 1, it appears. He's in multi-ball right now. He's got 2 balls trapped. Is picking off Barekora targets to juice the spinner value. That's pretty much what you want to do in multi-ball, is just trap up, take targets, and then shoot the spinner once you've got as many red Barekora letters as possible. And you can also take it up top for those bonus X.
Another matches right now. Adam and Colin are 1-1. Escher's 2-0. Well, that's probably 3-0 now on Colin. And Chris Stevens is still waiting to play the winner of the Carl D'Angelo Preston Moncla match, which is at 2-1.
I got Raymond and Tim backwards. It looks like Raymond is player too.
Yeah, we can fix that.
Oh, nice.
So
Slap to the side.
is it the Bera and the Kora drop target banks shot in order increase your multiplier on the bottom row? Is that right?
I know that they light your locks, and that's pretty much where my knowledge starts and ends, is knowing how to start multi-ball and then hitting more targets. But it looks like
There's another strategy with those 2 targets in the middle where you use them to build up and then shoot the loop thing around or up on the right side.
oh, the horseshoe.
The horseshoe thing to collect it. But
And if they're even at the same level, it will not. You get 2 or 3 times collecting that before it resets. Is that right?
sounds right, yeah. I don't know how many times it is, but I don't yet. It doesn't reset initially.
Oh, that's a nice save. Oh, it followed by an out lane. But Raymond pulls ahead of Tim after ball 1. Oh, wow. Raymond is currently 2nd in the world in the IFPA rankings, his highest ever placement. He's representing the state of Washington, playing against Tim Sexton, who's representing Connecticut, but is currently based in Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, Adam. The Fred Richardson Preston Moncla match went 7, and they had a lot of waiting based off the games that they picked. So Carl and Preston started their match way after many of the other in the round of 16 had already played. Chris is just relaxing and waiting. 2 ball lit. Also got a bonus collect lit.
Good control from Tim there.
Just immediately into the saucer, starting his 2-ball multi-ball.
Tim Sexton, new Stern programmer.
He's making sure to concentrate on the 4, 5, 6 rollovers up top. Unfortunately, loses a ball down the right out lane. Still has that bonus collect lit up top. Oh, you can backhand that right shot, which is interesting.
There we go.
Ellen and Luis are going to Game 7, and they will be playing Game of Thrones. Currently, Robin and Hannah are playing it. We will go to that game as soon as it starts. Or as soon as I realize it started. Out of the multi-ball there.
The phrase chopping wood comes to mind when watching this game. It's really rinse and repeat. Get the drops, start a multi-ball, do it again.
Build up bonus
So
along the way. And if you're just joining the broadcast, these games from this era are played as player 1 and player 3 so that you can't tilt through. That's why you saw a ball just being plunged and nothing happening.
But now Raymond has picked up control, and he only needs that last A target on the Akora side to light lock up top.
Very
and
nice.
that lock also functions as a ball save, in that if you have a ball locked up there and then drain out of single ball play, your ball will be kicked out. That was locked up there.
He lit the second one as well, so he
Yeah.
can be 2 or 3 depending on how he wants to take this.
And that means he's got all the Barekora letters all in red over on the left side of the screen here.
Now, if he takes the 2, does that wipe out the lock for the 3, or will it be there when he comes out of the 2?
Guess we will find out, because wouldn't it kick out his? Nope.
Yeah.
I guess we can get rid of my drawing.
Which button was it? F2?
Escape. Escape.
Escape. All right.
Yeah, thanks. So that was ball 2. They're keeping it close, right?
All right.
Tim steps up slightly ahead and with a collect bonus lit.
One of those shots like, please hit me, even though you have no bonus, hit me anyway.
I feel like there are 2 schools of thought with these double rollovers up top. You can either try and get 1, 2, 3 over and over again just because it's faster and you want to put together some amount of points, or you can really focus on only getting 4, 5, and 6 lit, which is more lucrative.
Yeah, which is what Tim did there. You could see
Yeah.
he has it lit for the
There it
40,000. Now the extra ball, which. But
And spinner.
that one never goes away, whereas if you take the one on the left, the 1, 2, 3, it resets after you collect it.
And that's collected at the left eject.
Yes.
In order to get 4, 5, 6, you have to have 1, 2, or 3 lit behind it.
Right.
Nice save, a nice dig out of the left outland.
Okay, it looks like Luis and Ellen have gone to Game of Thrones. We'll give them a minute to do their warm-ups, and we'll head over and check that Game 7 out. Actually, let's make sure we don't miss anything. Let's just go right now. So, a women's bracket. And Game of Thrones.
Looks like the 2 matches in the women's bracket that have been decided were decided decisively, with Carrie and Karen sweeping Helena and Tracy respectively 4-0. Karen is up 1-0 on Carrie. It looks like she probably won X-Men again, which has been her go-to game over the past couple rounds. And Karen's been fighting in since the beginning. She didn't even have a bye. So this
Okay,
is
so it will be Game 7. They must be collecting their thoughts, or so. While we're waiting for them, what are your mindsets going into a Game 7? Do you feel more pressure, or do you treat it like just a one-game single elimination tournament, or how do you put yourself as a competitor into a mindset of a winner-take-all game?
Well, Pete, for me, I like to flame out way before that. I like to just get it out of the way, 0-4 or something. Maybe win, maybe win 1-4. That way I don't have that problem. It's much better.
Okay, since we're not sure where they're at, we'll go back to Barekora. See what's happening there. Well, and then we'll head back to Game of Thrones.
Did you have
momentarily.
any game 7s, Zoe?
Well, I was knocked out on my Game 7 of Black Rose, and part of it was just it's so much pressure on a game that you might not like because my opponent chose it, and I was not happy with that choice. It's not a game I feel strong on, so I think having the added pressure of it be a Game 7 is really tough. Tim's not having that problem, though. He has started his 2-ball multi-ball at the saucer yet again.
This game is very controllable if you make your shots. There was a game earlier. It was like 3 million to 1 million. It was Colin McAlpine who had the 3 million. Just chopped the wood, kept everything in control, and
Nice slap save backhand up into the bumpers to relight.
Back into 2-ball.
Yeah.
lather, rinse, repeat.
Trying to pick off those targets whenever he can. Oh, loses one.
He's got 8x bonus right now.
And he's got
Not a
most of Barekora, all of Barekora lit.
Yeah, it would be, a big bonus collect up at the top if he could have got it, but
Still put
Still.
some distance in there.
Yep.
But
you get eliminated with 1.29 million on Barekora. You just shake Ray's hand and
well, this is. It looks like Ray's up 3-1. Oh yeah. So yeah.
Tim did all he could
Yeah.
do there. I mean,
He really put his tournament life on the line.
And Raymond's got his 2-ball.
Promptly starts his 2-ball. Trapping up, making sure he has control, doesn't want to deal with any unexpected double drains, so he knows he still has one that he can do stuff with.
He knows he needs quite a few points here, so just settle into the long game and play it really safe.
Oh, he's post passing. I think he's just
Wow.
gonna go for Barekora.
Oof, nice save.
one interesting note that I just noticed,
Oof.
Time Fantasy has been removed as a game of choice. It must have broken down or something. So players who were doing well in that earlier today will no longer have it as a choice.
I mean, Time Machine.
Or Time Machine,
Yeah.
yes.
A fair number of people will not be upset about that.
I don't think it was one of the more popular options.
For those that are upset, they can hop in a time machine and go back and stop whatever busted it.
All right, so Ray's in single ball play.
It looks like there's an issue.
Player, tech.
Looks like there was a drop target that wasn't triggering and thus wasn't resetting the drops.
So now, what's the ruling on this, Pete? If he just scored him some points by triggering that,
They're raised to keep. Without seeing the ball and everything that happened there, I would assume that that drop target didn't register to begin with, so he has it's at the correct state now. The extra drop, it's minimal.
Yeah, now he starts multi-ball, so he's just going to be trying to drop those drops again. Pick them off one at a time. Oh, flipper error there.
That is one of those odd parts when you are tournament directing and you have to go into a game. If you accidentally bump something, you hope those points aren't enough to swing a game.
right? Nobody gets too vocal and upset about it.
Yeah. Ray's having some sweet digs that look like they're almost gone, but then he gets them back.
And back in 2-ball.
Yep.
These guys are building a log cabin from all this wood that's being chopped. Oh, nice. And punished, immediately punished for the nice save.
my
Oh,
God.
wow.
That was, I can't believe that didn't tilt at this point, but okay.
And he immediately knew he was in trouble and acted with the machine and was able to get it back under control. Well done.
And now he's
Raymond-
going for the spinner.
He's really wanting to drive the final nail into Tim's coffin here.
Looks like he just doesn't quite have the
Will do.
timing of the Barekora shot, the spinner shot. Otherwise, he would just chop wood over in this section when the spinner is lit.
Having some good luck with those post pass.
Yeah. Oh my God, I still can't believe that he.
And oof.
Looks like Louise and Ellen are about to start their practice on Game of Thrones, so as soon as Raymond wraps up, we can head over there. But they haven't started yet. They just are getting their bearings. Just want people to know that that's where we're going next. Raymond's just getting the 1, 2, 3
Nice.
rather than the 4, 5, 6. Has a tough drain immediately. Got collect bonus lit. That could be interesting, but probably not enough just yet.
Yeah, that bonus adds up. He's got the 4x, and he's almost has the
But he has so
base
many.
value maxed.
And that collect bonus shot is up here. You can see how much bonus is building down there.
And it's in.
There it is.
And a lock, so now he has the insurance. If he drains, that ball at the top will come out unless he starts the 3-ball multi-ball.
But now he's got to light the other lock by spelling Bear and Akora. Again, even though he's got them all lit at the spinner, he needs to deal with the drops in order in their respective 3 and 5 banks.
Does he need both banks to
Oh,
own
no,
just the one?
just the one, yeah. And now he's hoping the bumpers will do the work for him. They've been favorable, but this one doesn't seem to want to
Yeah,
start
this
anything.
one
for him.
normally only. Oh, wow.
Trying to backhand it.
I
Oh my
liked
God,
it.
all these nudges. There it is. That's
Now-
the
And that's-
3-ball multi-ball because he had the other ball locked.
Game of Thrones is a game 7. He needs to tilt out.
Yeah, now, with all that bonus, I think he has it
He's-
already. Yeah, he's almost academic here.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was 1-2, so and with double scoring in the rest of this multi-ball, unless something goes horribly wrong.
if the game decides.
Well, he
yeah,
does
that-
have a bunch of
That
dangers.
little shake you did about 3 minutes ago. That was actually a tilt.
Yeah, that I could see
gonna-
that happening. So he just wants to chop wood here.
Yeah, you never want to rely on the bonus if you have control. There's 1, 2,
Yep.
8. That's going to be the winner. Let's head on over
No,
No, he's
to. No.
I
Okay,
mean,
1,
well-
2, 9.
yeah,
Oh wait.
it's just for the academic sense of things, in case he tilts at the last possible second, and we don't want to say we walked away from that.
for posterity.
Yeah. Inching
All
there.
right, and don't tilt it.
There it is.
And there we
Okay.
go.
Now we can go to Game 7 between Louise Wagensonner and Ellen Frankel in the quarterfinals of the Women's World Championship, being held at Flipperspiele Underground Arcade Club in Las Vegas, Nevada.
All right, so got player 1
Ellen is player
Ellen's-
1,
Ellen is going to
and
be player 1.
Louise is player 2. Yeah, because Louise is soft plunged, so she has no points, but she has the ball trapped on the right flipper, which is exactly what I would do, because then she can flip at the green Tyrell targets to light lock. Ooh, makes
that's
a
a
big move, but it's only one
danger.
danger. You could hear that on the floor.
Yep. I think Carl's car alarm is going off in the parking lot from that from that move.
These two are playing, and the winner of this match will play the winner of Hannah and Robin, which are currently at Hannah 3, Robin 2.
Hannah has just completed her victory against Robin, actually. We
Oh,
just
yeah,
saw
see
it
that.
updated on the bracket. Congratulations, Hannah Holmberg-Hatch of Seattle, for moving on to the quarterfinals of the semifinals. Yeah, she's the third semifinalist. The winner of Carrie and Karen and the winner of Hannah and Either and the winner of this game will be the finalists.
Trophies for all of them.
Oh, is there a fourth place trophy? I didn't know that. That's awesome. That's why you said trophies. Hannah's right here. All right, Louise does not get much, but she does make a real cool save. Ellen's got 22 million, got 2 modes ready for her as well.
They're asking about the car alarm. This place is located really close to the airport, and an airplane taking off actually set off Carl's car alarm earlier. Try to say that 5 times fast. Or don't.
So next time Ellen shoots the center ramp, she will be able to start Lannister and Greyjoy, and she's made sure to light her lock just then by hitting the Tyrell green targets so that that center ramp can be as lucrative as possible for her. Make as much progress, but that this stand up next to the dragon is, people think that they're hitting it up the spinner, but they just rock it down the drain. I'm very enamored with all this drawing on things.
Yeah, that one was really good. That was like, it's like the NFL or something.
Nice control there.
You see that right there?
Yeah, I want a whiteboard to coach people. Okay, so this is Louise has her lock lit, but if she, when she hits that shot, it's going to start Greyjoy automatically because we're all in novice mode, where Stark is completed and Greyjoy is ready to go.
I've seen a lot of people just deciding to play this out and finish Greyjoy in single ball play. I agree with that. It's tough, especially if you don't have your a lock ready, which she doesn't. It's just you have 10 seconds per shot. You have to keep making shots every 10 seconds, or else it ends the mode. So.
And if you can combo those shots, that makes them even more lucrative. So it's definitely not a bad idea.
Yeah, 21 million for that one right there.
She has started it and made one of the Greyjoy shots, so that should reset the clock. Should be able to finish
she
it.
needs the dragon and the right loop to finish Greyjoy.
And the right loop is difficult during the start of multi-ball because when the auto fire is on, that switch won't fire. So you have to wait until you're out of ball save. So Louise has completed Greyjoy at this point. She's just got that jackpot that she just hit, and now she has a super jackpot lit at the ramp, the battering ram. There it is.
Did get her ball save.
Thank goodness for the Lord of Light. Yeah, she was not lucky enough to get an add a ball from the mystery pops during her Lord of Light ball save or anything like that, but she's pretty dialed in on that Martell shot. I think that's what she wants to start next. And she'll start Lannister, or she'll light Lannister on whatever her next center shot is, but if she can get something else ready as well, she can stack them.
It's a very good multi ball. What is that, 412?
412, yeah. 412,
Very
079. All right, yep, so she's lit Martell. So now when she does go for her center shot, she'll have Lannister Martell stack, and she's lit lock again. These slingshots are pretty reactive, though, so that's something to be scared of. Or in Louise's case, be fearless of, and just take complete control. Post pass it over. Nice. Right, that was only her first lock. She already had a multi-ball, but she can stack these two houses together.
Which, of course, completing these two will light hand of the king, which is a very lucrative multi-ball.
Yes. So if she does get to handle the king, she takes in Stark, Greyjoy, Lannister, and Martell, which is interesting. Stark gives you a 20-second all shots lit shoot around period. Greyjoy, you have to complete all 7 shots instead of just 4 of them. Lannister adds gold. I don't know what Lannister does. It's not bad. It's a good thing. And then Martell is shoot every shot twice instead of once before you can get to the super jackpot. So Greyjoy and Martell and the 20-second shoot around for Stark can make it.
There's Martell finished.
No, but not Lannister. Still, oh, she manages to remember her Iron Bank on the way out. And that was ball 2 for Louise. She put up a much better than the 700,000 that we saw from her on ball 1. She ended up at 515 million.
Very solid for 2 balls of play on Game of Thrones.
Yeah. And Ellen's got some stuff lit. She's been playing a cautious game where she's putting things together, but she also full plunges up into the bumpers, which is a little bit of a scarier shot, although she traps it easily. Can start Lannister and Greyjoy, and she's getting pumped, jumping up and down. And it's ball 3. She's bringing in that multi-ball. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, the battering ram has been really hit or miss. I was not able to really get any multipliers off of it. You need a really direct and solid shot to it to get it to register.
It's a dangerous shot, too. We saw
It is
someone
dangerous.
earlier hit it for super jackpot, left out lane, hit it again for super jackpot, and left out lane, done.
And
Oh,
Ellen
no.
loses her balls in quick succession, meaning Louise will be the one representing the Bay Area
Great
in
sign of
the semifinals.
Sportswomanship there, hugging it out.